All right, remember, there's the current contractor that built what we have today. I don't know if that explains it all.
No, that's.
So I want to take advantage of this. We have contacted several municipalities. In fact, one of them, you can help me which one, but one of them actually replaced our current contractor about a year and a half ago.
Why would there be a server room per se? Is that state of the art at this point?
Well, in our case, it would be. We have a tremendous amount of assessment data. We have the tax collection software that also runs on that equipment. So a lot of that, our email system runs on that equipment. That's why we have it.
Maybe Mr. Sullivan. Maybe Mr. Sullivan can answer that question.
That is pretty common. I think that, as a matter of fact, I provided you a few in the back.
Yeah, yes.
I provided a few pictures. There's some before and afters, and that's, municipalities have grown over the years, and when we started in this business 15 years ago, municipal IT systems were very small. Our first client was the town of North Castle, and they actually had 6 different vendors because each department had its own IT. There was nothing tied together, and so there was a server literally off in the corner, sitting on top of a file cabinet. Gradually, as everything was brought together, as those individual devices became larger centralized servers, causing the need to have a server room, centralized distribution of cabling. And believe it or not, what you have here is not unusual for how municipalities grow. They grew in a very non-professional, non-planned way, and now those days are somewhat over.
So if your company came in and revamped our system, would we still have the need for this room that holds all of our system?
You certainly would. You need one centralized point. That's very important. It's very important from a troubleshooting standpoint. It's very important from a security standpoint. If you've not seen your server room, you should go take a look at it. It looks like some of the ones in here. It's in need of some help.
Can you have a general price range for your services?
That's why we offer we'd offer an evaluation, because it really does take myself and several engineers probably a full day to look through, and at that point we can come back and say to you, there's 2 numbers on the table. One number is to bring you up to where we think you need to be, and the second number is what it's going to cost you per year to operate your IT.
Now, so when we're talking about IT technology, what I'm thinking is this is a perfect example of how we could do shared services. And I'm wondering if, it certainly makes sense to me, it seems to me at least. I know the Village of Portchester was talking about sharing out IT services at some point in time. But do other municipalities share out IT services?
Well, our company essentially creates shared services. What you're doing when you join our team is you're paying into the salaries that pay for our help desk. You're only paying a fraction of what it costs. Our weekly payroll is something on the order of $15,000, and you're paying a tiny fraction of that because essentially you're sharing those services. Right. We have experts in firewall technology, we have experts in server technology. When you look at trying to do that on your own, you can't really hire one person. We have 2 clients that have their own full-time in-house IT person, and they still pay us they pay us a lot of money to do the infrastructure and to back up that person.
I think what Supervisor Carvin may have been referring to is a slightly different concept, if I may speak from. We're sort of looking at the possibility of sharing services among other governmental entities. To make a very simple example would be sharing the use of a pickup truck with the Village of Rybrook's Parks Department.
I totally understand that. But look at it this way. If let's say 2 government entities.
Sorry, Mr. Sullivan, but what we're suggesting is that, and I have no idea if this will work or not, but for example, if we get you business with the Village of Rye Brook, the Village of Portchester, and the School of Blind Brook, Portchester, and Rye Neck, and the town of Rye, that's 6 municipal entities. I'm hoping you're going to give me a break on your fee.
You're already getting a great break. You're already getting that break because you're going to pay so little because that we've already done that with other municipalities.
Okay.
So and our pricing will reflect that.
Okay.
Yes.
So what you're saying is we already have it.
You will have it.
Right.
You will in our pricing. You will get you'll see.
You're saying we're outsourcing, in effect, a big chunk of the work, but it's not to say that we'd be on the same network as the Blind Brook schools.
Right.
Maybe you were thinking of like being on the same.
No, I wasn't thinking the same network. I've just.
That's really sharing.
I was really more thinking of the cost savings if you spread it across, 6 municipalities. And again, I don't know what benefits would accrue if everybody were on the same network. In other words, or not on the same network, but using the same kind of data system and that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between a volume discount and shared services.
Right.
You're sort of proposing a volume discount,
Right.
but not really sharing anything.
Right.
Okay.
I think we used to share before, correct? And I don't know how that worked out.
I'm not aware that there's ever been any shared services.
When Portchester was in this building on the second floor, we used to share equipment and services.
Yeah, please.
Ms. Sullivan, can you please enumerate for us the services that you will be proposed to provide as part of this total care?
I did in my remarks. If you look at page 3, about halfway down, the total care package includes planning, help desk, monitoring, maintenance, troubleshooting, repair services. Essentially, right now, you're paying on a time and material or a block time basis for all your IT services. So when you have a problem, somebody comes in and they go around the building and they try to figure out what's wrong with it, and they resolve the problem and they send you a bill for it.
So when you say consulting and planning for what?
IT is a moving target. It changes constantly. So on an annual basis, we review the system. We review with departments what their needs are for the coming year. We review what their current year has been, where there's problems, what software might have to change.
What about it says monitoring, maintenance, troubleshooting. Would that include standard software upgrades to Microsoft Office, Windows programs, things of that nature?
It includes patching, but not upgrades. Okay. Upgrades are planned for on an annual basis, and that's quoted separately.
Well, some software packages, such as antivirus packages, come up with updates.
That's automatic. Okay. Yes, that's done. Upgrades.
And updates to
I differentiate between update and upgrade. So an update would be a patch or an antivirus update or an ORPS update or a software vendor application that needed to be patched. And that happens throughout the year.
Okay, so let me give you a hypothetical. If I'm upgrading or updating my Windows package when they send me an automatic file to update my operating system or my Office package, and I have problems because that disrupts something on my PC, do I call you, and is that included?
We actually control that process. We actually don't let that happen by itself. We put an updating system provided by Microsoft on the servers. All the updates are automatically downloaded to the servers, and then we look at the updates. We try them in our test environment, and only after we've tried them in our test environment do we release them to the workstations. Whereas if you're at home, you would automatically just receive these updates, and as you alluded to, sometimes they are not compatible with current software, and they cause problems.
But that would allude to the fact that you would have a replica of our exact system, because you could test it only so far. If you don't have the exact software that we have on our servers, you cannot replicate the results that we would get on our servers.
We build our servers. We have test servers in our environment that mimic our municipal servers. So is it 100%? No. Is it 90% mimic? Yes. I'll give you an example.